Nature, then, with the equally real and mighty operation of a spiritual nature, which has and are discerned only by the spiritual insight of the soul. As the mind of any personality in the universe becomes more spiritual, godlike, it becomes less responsive in material gravity. Reality measured by physical gravity, response, is the antithesis of reality and is determined by quality of spirit content, physical activity, action, and quantitative demeanor of non-spirit energy. Spirit gravity action is a qualitative measure of the living energy of divinity. What paradise is to the physical creation and what the eternal sun is to the spiritual universe. The conjoint actor is to the realms of the mind and the intelligent universe of the material, monetarial, and spiritual beings and personalities. The conjoint actor reacts with both material and spiritual realities, as therefore inherently becomes a universal and union of both material and spiritual phases of creation and endowment of intelligence. The ministry of the material into the spiritual and the phenomenon of the mind is the exclusive domain to the conjoint actor, who has thus become the partners of the spiritual mind and the essence of Urantia mind, and the substance of the material mind, and the evolutionary creatures of time. Mind is the technique here whereby spiritual realities and experiential realities, therefore creations of personalities, and in the last analysis in the unifying possibilities or even human mind, the ability to co-coordinate ideas and values is supermaterial. Though it is hardly possible for the immortal mind to comprehend the seven levels of the relative cosmic level, the human intellect should be able to grasp much of the meaning of the three functionalities of their levels of the finite reality, which I always tell people is past, present, and future, but here we go. This is how this is explained in this book. Matter organized, number one, by energy is the subject to linear gravity, except as it is modified by motion and conditioned by mind. 2. Mind organized consciousness as if it were whereby wholly and the material gravity as thereby becomes truly liberated and modified by spirit. 3. The spirit, the highest personality and personal reality, is the true spirit, not subject to physical gravity or to the eventually becomes the motivating influence of all evolving energy, systems of personality and dignity. The goal of existence of all personalities is spirit. Material manifestations are relative, and the cosmic mind intervenes. Between the universal opposites, the bestowal on the mind is the ministration of spirit, artwork of the associate persons of deity. The infinite spirit and the eternal sun, total deity reality, is not mind but by spirit, unified by personality. Nonetheless, the absoluteness of both spirit and or the thing coverage in the person of the universal Father. On paradise, of the three energies, physical, mind, spirit are co-coordinate, is the evolutionary cosmos and cosmic energy of the dominant and the accept in personality, whereas by spirit is the meditation of the mind, is striving for the mastery And the spirit is the functionality and the fundamental reality of the personality and experience of all creatures, because God is spirit. Spirit is unchanging, and therefore, in all personality, in all relativeness, it transcends both mind and matter, and which are experiential to each, variables of progressive, of attainment. I'd like to think and know, rather, that God dwells within us all. So that's beautiful truth. One with His creation, as He says. And Christ says the same. In cosmic evolution, matter becomes the philosophic shadow cast by the mind in the presence of the spirit luminosity enduring divine enlightenment. But this does not invalidate the reality of the matter energy, mind, nor matter and energy of the spirit equally and real, that they are both not real of value to personality and attainment of divinity. Consciousness of divinity is a progressive spiritual experience. The brighter the shining of the spiritualized personality, the farther in the universe the fragment of the potential spirit, personality, and the eventuality of the individual creature, the greater the shadow cast by the intervening mind upon its material investment in time. Man's body is just as real as his mind, body, or spirit, but in death, both mind and identity in the spirit survive, while the body does not. The cosmic reality can be non-existent in personality and experience, and so your Greek figure of speech, the material as of the shadow of the real spirit substance, does have a philosophical significance. Personality reality. The spirit is the basic personality in the universe, and the personality in basic is all progressing experience in the spirituality reality. Every phase of personality experience in every successive level of the universe progression swarms with clues to the discovery of an alluring personal realities that man's true destiny coexist in the creation of the new spirit and goals, and then in responding with the cosmic allurements of such supernal and the supernal goals of the non-material value. Love is the secret of the beneficial association between personalities. And who does it say love is in the Bible? Love is God. That's beautiful. One that bears true love for us all. You cannot really know a person just as the result as a single contact. You cannot appreciatingly know music through the mathematical deduction. Even though music is a form of mathematical rhythm, the number of assigned to a telephone subscriber does not, in any number of identity personality of a subscriber, signify anything concerning his character. This is very true. Music should be something felt by the spirit, not mathematical, deduction. That's where music can get too technical with some people instead of them realizing it's about feeling and spirit. So, mathematics, material science is indispensable to the intelligent discussion. For love is the secret of the beneficial association between personalities. You cannot really know a person, I'll say this again, as the result of a single contact, as you cannot appreciatingly know the music through mathematical deduction. Mathematics is a material science and is dispensable to the intelligent discussion of the material aspects of the universe. But such knowledge is not necessarily part of the higher realization of truth, of the personality, of appreciation, of spiritual realities, not only in the realms of life, but in the realms of physical energy, the sums of two or more things, and often something more, or something science and different from the predictable addictive consequences of such unions. The entire science of mathematics is the whole dominion of philosophy, and the highest physics are chemistry, and could not predict or know that the union of two gaseous hydrogen atoms and gaseous oxygen atoms would result in such a new and qualifiable and superaddictive substance, liquid water. With understanding knowledge of this, one physico-chemical phenomena which should have prevented the development of the materialistic philosophy and mechanistic cosmology, which I would consider technology, but mechanistic is similar. And the technical analysis does not reveal what a person or thing can do. For example, what is used effectively to extinguish fire? The water will put out fire is a fact of everyday experience, but no analysis of the water could be made to disclose of such a property. So don't ever put water on a grease fire. Put flour on it. Just telling you. Water only makes it worse. Okay. Analysis determines that water is composed of hydrogen and oxygen. And further study of these elements to close, and the oxygen is a real supporter of the supercombustion of the hydrogen with itself freely burn. Your religion is becoming real because it is embracing from the slavery of fear and bondage and of superstition. Your philosophy and struggles are the emancipation for dogma and tradition. Your science is engaged in an arguing and age-long contest between the truth and error when it fights itself for deliverance from the both bondage and abstraction, the slavery of mathematics and the relative blindness of mechanistic materialism. Mortal man has a spirit nucleus. The mind is a personal energy system existing around the divine spirit nucleus, functioning in a material environment, such as a living relationship of a personal mind, and the spirit constitutes of the universe and the potential of eternity of personality. Real trouble, lasting disappointment, and serious defeat, and inescapable death can come only after the subconscious concepts of presume fully to displace the governing power of the eternal spirit nucleus, thus disrupting the cosmic scheme of the personality identity. 13. On to the sacred spheres of paradise. Between the central isle of paradise and the innermost parts of Havana, planetary circuits there are situated in the space thereof, lesser circuits of the spheres of special innermost circuits that consist of the 7 secret spheres of the Universal Father. The second group is composed of 7 luminous worlds of the Eternal Sun. And in the outermost of the 7 immense spheres of the Infinite Spirit and executive headquarters, world of the seven master spirits. These seven master circuits of the Father and the Son and the Spirit are spheres in excelled grandeur and unimagined glory, even though their material or physical construction is an over and unrevealed to you. Each circuit is in diverse and material, and each world of its circuit is different. Accepting the seven worlds of the sun, which are alike in physical constitution, all 21 are enormous spheres, and each group of the seven differently internalized. As far as we know, they have and always will. Like the eternal paradise, they are eternal, and therefore exists neither record nor tradition of their origin. The seven secret spheres of the Universal Father circulating about the paradise in the close proximity to the eternal isle of the highly reflective and intellectual luminosity of the central shining of the eternal deities, shedding the light of the divine glory throughout the paradise, and even upon the seven circuits of Nirvana. On the seven sacred worlds of the eternal sun, there appeared to take origin of the impersonal energies of the spirit luminosity. No personal being and any may sojourn on any of these seven shining realms. With spiritual glory they illuminate the paradise and the Havana, and they are directioner and eyes pure spirit luminosity to the sovereign super universes and brilliant spheres of the second circuit of likewise emit their light without heat to the paradise and to the billion worlds of the seven circuited central universe. Seven worlds of the infinite spirit are occupied by the seven master spirits who preside over the destinies of the seven super universes, sending forth the supernatural illumination of the third person of deity to these creations of time and space in all Havana, but not like the eye of paradise is battled in these spiritual and without these spiritualizing influences unlike any other. Although the worlds of the Father and the ultimate status of the spheres of for all Father personalities, it is not to their exclusive function. Many beings and entities of and other than the personal sojourn of these worlds. Each world is in the circuit of the Father and the circuit of the Spirit, and has two types of the permanent citizenship, but we think the worlds and the sun's worlds inhabited by the uniform types of other personality beings, fathers and fragments, and natives and divination, and the otherwise likewise permanent citizenship of the unveiled to you. Divington. Sorry. Not divination, but Divington. The 21 paradise satellites, their purpose in the central and super universes are disclosed in these narratives. You are able to understand little of these spheres and the life thereof. You cannot hope to gain anything like a consistent view of them, either of their by nature or function. Thousands of activities are there going on which are unrevealed to you. These 21 spheres and embrace the potential of the function of the Master Universe. These papers afford the only a fleeting glimpse of certain circumcised activities which would be pertaining to the present universe of the grand universe, and rather to the 7 sectors of the grand universe.